A beloved doctor at Akron Children's Hospital touched thousands of lives during her 20-year career. Dr. Laura Gerak cared for children facing life-threatening illnesses and their families. Even while in the fight for her life, she never stopped giving to others. Lindsay Buckingham shows us how her spirit of compassion continues to inspire.
At Akron Children's Hospital, miracles happen every day.
Laura's office is actually right in here.
The life's work of caregivers like pediatric psychologist Dr. Laura Gerak,
She was definitely a safe place for me.
who alongside best friend Dr. Sarah Freebert built a palliative care team, one of the first of its kind in the country.
I founded the center here at a time when there was not a lot of understanding about what it was.
Dr. Laura clearly understood. She had a special way of reaching patients, coping with serious illnesses.
She was just so real. She very much had a conversation. She met them where they were.
Laura was the epitome of right place, right time, and she was the person that you wanted to see.
She mentored countless colleagues. Her husband, Chris Gibbs, says the giving never stopped.
Even on vacation, she'd be on that phone talking to somebody. She needed to check in with those kids.
Her reach extended far beyond the hospital walls.
Everyone came to Laura about their own families. Laura would be here after hours counseling the food services folks from the cafeteria whose kids were having a rough time.
Her connection with kids is what set her apart.
She just knew how to read somebody and meet them with what they needed. It's kind of magical.
She had this picture. She's down on her knees, and then there's this kid running towards her. This kid just couldn't wait to get to her.
Then in 2017, while devoting herself to healing others, she faced the fight of her own life, leukemia.
She found a donor that was 10 out of 10 from Germany. He gave her an extra couple of years.
7 to be exact. She battled her disease with the same grace and determination she brought to everything else.
A dear friend of hers, Diane, took all of her most colorful clothing and skirts and made us all little bears.
Laura's style was just as much a part of her spirit.
She always had like swishy.
Ethereal. She was ethereal.
She'd like float in.
But never floated by. She stopped, she listened, she cared when a doctor in hospice asked if she had children.
She worked at Akron Children's. She had 1,000 kids.
Laura's peace was at the beach.
That was a happy place.
So was her deep faith.
And I think that's part of what carried her through professionally, personally, through her illness.
Even until the very end.
She accepted everything with such grace.
Soaking in all the love from her family.
It was like time stood still. We were there that whole weekend just together. I mean, holding hands and she would, she wanted to pray and she'd say, kiss my forehead, kiss her forehead.
The grief still raw for those she left behind.
I really miss just seeing her and just her smile and how much you could just be yourself with her.
She was just so unwavering. It's difficult.
Yet her legacy lives on in her team's mission.
Laura would always say, it isn't our job to solve anyone's problems, it's our job to come alongside. And so I carry that with me every day.
If you had to pick one person to be on your ship with you when the ship was going through some rough waters, it was Laura, and it was Laura for everybody.
A wife, a colleague, a friend, a sister.
She sees the miracles that happen and absolutely focused on that miracle until the last day of her life.
Lindsay Buckingham, 3 News.
Dr. Laura got extra years thanks to that bone marrow donor from Germany. Now Akron Children's wants to pay it forward. They're hosting a donor drive Thursday from 6:30 to 2:30. Bone marrow transplants cure over 75 different diseases. If you can't make it tomorrow, head to nmdp.org to sign up. You just may save a life. And if you'll remember, Jimmy Donovan had a bone marrow transplant that extended his life numerous years. We all got to enjoy the comeback.
Yes, we did.
And it's just incredible what they're able to do, but they need that funding. And look, we got the shirts there, the Akron Children's shirts with Laura's legacy. So cool, vivid. And it's always interesting to me when entities use butterflies, especially because butterflies don't necessarily look this pretty at the start.
That's right.
They kind of come into their own and then go out into the world. So hopefully we can make some beautiful things happen.
Like Laura, the shirts are bright. Some lights are so bright they can't be extinguished. And that's Dr. Laura.
That's it.
Her legacy lives on.
All right.
Lindsay, thanks.